Lot lost his life and destiny on the platform of strife, greed, and lack of value for authority. Lot lost his life on the platform of strife, greed, and lack of respect or value for authority. Everybody knows that God called Abraham, but Abraham called Lot. Genesis chapter 12 from verse 1, when God asked Abraham to leave his father's house, he didn't mention Lot's name. But in verse 5, Abraham went out with Lot. By chapter 13 and in verse 2, God had blessed Abraham and he was very rich in cattle. He was very rich in silver. He was very rich in gold. By verse 5, Lot also, because he went with Abraham, also became rich and became loaded and became influential. And that entered his head. And in verse 7, there began strife started. And there was strife between the headmen of Abraham's cattle and the headmen of Lot's cattle. And the Canaanite and the Perizzite dwelled then in the land. And Abraham said unto Lot, let there be no strife, I beg you, between me and you, and between my headmen and thy headmen, for we are brothers. He should have said, I am your uncle, because that was what he was. It's not the whole land before thee. Separate yourself, I pray you, from me. If you will take the left hand, I will go right. Or if you will depart to the right hand, then I will go left. And Lot lifted up his eyes and beheld all the plain of Jordan, that it was well watered everywhere before the Lord destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah, even as the garden of the Lord, like the land of Egypt, as thou comest unto Zoar. Then Lot chose him all the plain of Jordan, and Lot journeyed east, and they separated themselves the one from the other. That was the greatest mistake of Lot. When you leave your cover leaves you. That was the greatest mistake of Lot. But look at this. The man brought him out. First, he began to strive. He entered into contention and competition with his father. In Africa, your uncle is your father. He entered into bitterness and malice and strife and competition with his father, with his uncle. Then, when his uncle said, this is land between us, choose one, I choose the other, instead of the boy saying, or the man Lord saying, excuse me, sir, it was you God called, not me. You are the one who brought me out. Tell me where to go. That is, if he was to leave him at all. I can't choose before you. All right, you make the choice, and I will choose another. Not Lot. He lifted up his eyes, saw the area that was well watered. In other words, I choose the wet ground. Uncle, die in the dry land. Not knowing that where he chose was already marked for demolition. Sodom and Gomorrah was already marked for destruction. He couldn't perceive. He was not sensitive. That was how Lot ended his life, ended his destiny, ended his future. In Genesis chapter 19, verse 15 to 17, you see the end of Lot. And when the morning arose, then the angels hastened Lot and saying, arise, take your wife and your 2 daughters, which are here, lest you be consumed in the iniquity of the city. Rise. And while he lingered, the men laid hold upon his hand, and upon the hand of his wife, and upon the hand of his 2 daughters. The Lord being merciful unto him, and they brought him forth and set him without the city. That was how they pulled Lot out of the city. all his investments were left behind. And it came to pass, when they had brought them forth abroad, that he said, escape for your life, look not behind thee, neither stay down in all the plain, escape to the mountain, lest he be consumed. And in one day, everything Lot labored, everything greed gave him, everything he competed with his uncle to gather, all was consumed overnight. He only left Sodom with his life. And of course, at the end, he died, he was destroyed. Slept with his 2 daughters, gave birth to the bastard tribes of Moab and Ammon, Ammonites and Moabites. If there is any man, any youth in the house, if you want to have a future, avoid strife, avoid contention, avoid unhealthy competition, avoid greed, and avoid disrespect for the authority that makes you. Don't bite the fingers that feed you. Don't kick off the ladder that gave you climb. Don't back the door. Don't bang that door that you once passed through. Sila. I was advising somebody yesterday, and I told him he had challenge with his master. And I said, I want you to amicably handle this challenge. Even if you are going to leave, let him bless you, so you can live in peace. It's a secular setting, not a church. And I said, because you once passed through that door, don't bang it. Don't let your exit cause noise. You may need that door another day, and you may be stranded because you don't have it. This is how people cut short their lives because of lack of character. Somebody helped you, you now want to hurt him. Somebody raised you, you want to erase him. Somebody who assisted you are now resisting him, and you want to survive, and you want to succeed. God is too principled to allow iniquity to succeed. If you want to have a future, beware of strife, bitterness, unhealthy competition, contention. You achieve this, I achieve that. Beware of greed. Beware of disrespect for the authority that made you.